Brodes Media.
Nick Sirianni sucks, okay? What we just watched, it makes zero sense they won this football game. It's phenomenal that you have Saquon and Devontae Smith. That Devontae Smith touchdown catch is Hall of Fame level catch. That's catch of the year, catch of the decade. Holy shit! What? Same with that Saquon backwards jumping over people stuff. And it's tremendous that you have that level of talent on your team. When it comes down to the playoffs, though, and you're no longer playing Doug Peterson, who's about to get his ass canned, and Trevor Lawrence, who can't throw a football on the money, these games will come down to 3 points. These games will come down to 2 points. These games will come down to one decision. Yet this guy fucks up 7 decisions in one game. Nick Sirianni does not help this team. He either doesn't do anything to get in the way, and we somehow give him a standing ovation for that, or he destroys you. And I'm not just reacting to results, meaning I don't disagree with the first 4th and 3 to A.J. Brown that wasn't completed, and Jalen was a little slow on his decision-making and his throw. I have no issue when you're around midway through the field and you're just on the other team's side of the football field and it's 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and you want to dial up a pass to be aggressive and keep your offense out there. I got no issue with it. I got issues when you take extra points off to go for 2, you don't make it. And now it's a less possession game. That's incompetent. That's unthinkable. Your job as a CEO is to understand timing, understand score, understand the flow of the game. This guy's lost. Look, even the 4th and inches. It's not dumb to go for it on 4th and inches. But what you have to do is rely on a play that you have, that you literally succeed with 99% of the time. I don't care that they stopped it twice. Make them stop it a 3rd time. What are the odds that they stop it a 3rd time? And if they do, tip your cap. But what the fuck was that 4th and inches play call? That's pathetic. You got scared out of your own game by Jacksonville. The Jags scared you. Oh, that's sad. I had 1 goal today, and this game was starting out being exactly what I wanted it to be, a relaxer. It became a sweated outer. Okay? Sidney Brown makes a massive play on special teams. Zach Bond does a great job acquiring an interception. The team has life. You're pounding them. The Jags have 35, 36 total yards as an offense, and they can't generate squiddly dick. They couldn't do dick. And it got close. It got close because the coach is destroying you. In what world? In what world do you ask Jake Elliott to kick that 57-yard field goal? Look at me. There was a 0% chance that was ever going to work. You make him sit there all game long for hours, and it's not a 50-yarder. It's not a 51-yarder. This thing's a 57-yarder. It was never going to work. You give them a short field. I mean, that is idiotic. And as much as I love Saquon to death, and boy, do I love Saquon, sliding, we've now played 8 games. I can give you 3 scenarios late in the game. He's made really questionable plays happen. Sliding, the drop pass, it is so brutal. Now, speaking of Saquon, he does a million things that are sexy prior to that hiccup, but that hiccup tends to keep popping up in clutch moments. Let's get to the fumble. Yeah, the NFL's stupid. There are morons that get paid a lot of money to look at the replay booth, and it was clear and obvious that that should have never happened. Here's the thing, though. This isn't new. The NFL has always sucked at replays. What are you going to do about it in the moment, emotionally, if you're the head coach, when you get screwed? Because inevitably, you are going to get screwed in this league with some sort of embarrassing, pathetic call. Well, you're going to fall apart and collapse, apparently. Egregious. I'm so happy for Nakobe Dean, though. For everything he's been through with his health, for the questions and all that were asked about if he can do it, if he can't do it. Trevor Lawrence made a god-awful throw, but there's a lot of stiffs defensively in this league where you can hit them in the hands, square in the chest, in the hands, and they won't come up with it. Nakobe Dean made a spectacular play, and Zach Berman touched on this postgame that he actually got beat on a similar play in camp with Kenny Gainwell and learned from that, and then now in the regular season comes up large to secure a game and save Nick Sirianni's ass. Now, I'm a little disappointed because now Nick Sirianni is going to get less heat than he deserves because the win does mask how bad it was. But I'm very happy for Nakobe Dean. I'm very happy for the turnovers the defense helped the offense out with. They were no joke. A.J. Brown leaves the game. I'm wondering at times what this offense is doing, but your special teams helps out early on. Zach Bond helps out. It's a team game. You need all 3 phases to get going. But there's still a lot of questions with this offense. What I just see, though, is special talent making special plays. Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, special talent making special plays. That's a good thing. It's a good thing to have. This coach sucks. I don't want to hear it for 1 second that, yeah, but Brodes, he makes the playoffs. Whoop-de-fucking do, they expanded the playoff format. Yeah, but he's got a good record. Replace him with anybody else with this team and this roster. They're going to have a good record and probably a better record. And I don't value last year's playoff appearance, by the way. That's not a good one. That's not the standard. Last year's playoff appearance does not count as a success for me at all. That's not a successful season. Last year was not a successful season. Not that I want to go relive that right now. I'm too worried trying to digest the disgrace that just went down at the link. That felt very much like what happened with the Atlanta Falcons. Now let's see if Nick Sirianni has spoken yet, because I'm waiting. Oh, I'm waiting. I don't give a damn about Matthew Stafford. I don't care about what's happening with Geno Smith. I don't care about any of these plays. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. All right. Anyway, here's a stat from Paul Domowitch. Jalen Hurts had his 5th straight game without a pick. He should have been picked. Oh, he should have been picked. What was the sequence? It was late in the game. Jalen, there was the awesome run where Saquon picked up the blitz. That was actually a pretty damn good run when I thought they were going to run away with it late earlier than they did. Obviously, it took to the very last second in the Kobe Dean interception, but there was that awesome play. But then Jalen Hurts over the middle overthrows his guy, and they pretended like they picked it off, and then they went to the replay, and it obviously hit the ground. But that was a piss-poor throw that should have been intercepted. He should have had an interception there. But Jalen Hurts had his 5th straight game without a pick and 4th straight game without a turnover. In the last 4 games, he's averaging 10.2 yards per attempt. In the last 3 games, he's got a 75.9 completion percentage. Oh, I mean, look, I do think Jalen Hurts with the throw to Devontae. I mean, Jalen played a pretty good game, but the head coach stinks. The head coach stinks. I don't know what else I need to do than to show you these games. And these games happen. Too much. And I'm disappointed because I thought that second half of Cincinnati was going to push me forward into believing that this team's about to seriously go on a ride. Maybe they still technically go on a ride because they can handle these regular season games. It's not doing it for me. It's not doing it for me. There's a problem here with the coach. You can't win with this. You can't win in the playoffs with this. These type of mistakes, you'll lose by 12. You'll lose by double digits. You'll lose by 2 touchdowns. You play good teams, and I guess maybe you could say, hey, Brodes, there's not really that many good teams in the NFC outside of the Lions. The Lions will beat you by 20 points. I don't even think it's a competitive football game. Unless I'm not giving Saquon, AJ, and Devontae, and even Jalen enough love and recognition for how special of players they can be if it happens to fall on one of the days where they are electric and all clicked in. Those games you can win with a bad head coach, I guess. But I wouldn't put my money down on it. You can't win real playoff games on the road, 3-point games, 1-possession games. The margin, when you think about errors, Nick Sirianni will have you lose those games 99 out of 100 times. You can get by the Browns. You can get by the Giants. You can get by a Jags team that's selling at the deadline, moving on from linemen, on backup linemen, no weapons. Guys in their skill positions are injured, and Trevor Lawrence can't hit his men. You could beat those teams. I'm trying my best. I really am. I did everything in my power after that second half in Cincinnati to turn the page and buy in. And now, due to the coach, I think I've taken 10 steps backwards again. I was there. They had me where they wanted me. They had me exactly where they probably could have drew it up in the best case scenario after the whole Nick Sirianni drama went down. If they said, okay, this is the best case scenario from this point moving forward, I was right there. But what am I supposed to do with that? Pretend that I have to be blindfolded by the context of how they won and just be happy with their record and just be thrilled that they're 6-2? It's a good record. It really is. None of this truly makes sense with the Nick Sirianni run here because he has teams with good records. But is it really because Nick Sirianni is some genius and magnificent coach, or is it Howie Roseman put together a lot of talent on this team?